Good morning, HollyAnn. Sorry I didn't see your message on Thanksgiving. I haven't been able to get to log in for the last couple days. I've been busy with family stuff. But I wanted to tell you that I'm going to do a couple things for you. First of all, I went through and on your quiz, I see the questions that you did wrong. So I'm going to give you another chance to do them again. So I've listed questions 2, 3, and 4 here, and question 5. So I want to take a minute to go through a couple things. First of all, I see in your message that you feel like you don't really understand what's going on with the methods. Well, I wanted to ask you, are you going through the EIMAX? That's part of this course, and I felt like when I went in the EIMAX that the answers to question 2 and 3 were found right in the information. So I want you to take a minute to go through this little explanation on methods. It really pinpoints the things that are required in the method and gives you a good summary of the different vocabulary. And I feel strongly that if you use this graphic right here to help you answer questions 2 and 3, you'll be in good shape. So what you're going to do here is you're actually going to have to take this document and send me your answers. Either you can modify this document and send it back to me, or you can send me your answers in a message. Either way. So 2 and 3, okay. Now question 4. I went through and I made a solution to, I'm going to go to the end of this. I found this other example very similar, and I worked out a solution. So I'm going to send this to you as well. So here we go. So we're basically doing the same problem that you did. The only thing that's different here are the numbers that we're going to use. So basically what we're saying is we want you to call the sum method method. Notice that it returns an integer. So that's why when this is all done, it's going to return an integer. We're going to assign it to the value num. So when I look at the method, I see it takes 2 parameters, a and b. So when I call sum method, the 7 is the a, the 9 is the b. So it's like you're taking those numbers and copying them into those 2 variables, kind of like I'm showing. Now, before we get too far, I wanted to review what the remainder operator is. Remember how the remainder operator works. It wants you to tell you what the remainder is. So if I say 5 remainder 3, you write out the division problem. 3 goes into 5, it goes in there 1 time, and then you subtract. Your remainder is 2. So this is equal to 2. Here's another example. 7 remainder 4 equals 3. Then you say 4 goes into 7 1 times, the remainder is 3. So this is equal to 3. So when I go back here, you see that A is 7, B is 9. I have an if, else, and then I have another if. But I only get to this if this is true. So let's try 7 remainder 4. 4 goes into 7 1 time with remainder of 3. So this is false. So that means I'm going to skip around and go down to the else. And the else has me returning a plus b divided by 2. Well, a is 7, b is 9. 7 plus 9 divided by 2 is 16 divided by 2 equals 8. So this answer is 8. So now what I want you to do is go back to this document, and I want you to rework this problem. Oh, not that one. This one. I want you to rework this problem. Sorry, I'm jumping around. With A is 12 and B is 14. And I want you to use this and tell me what the value of num is. When you're all done, pick one of those answers. Now, back down to the last thing. Write a static method that takes an array of strings and returns an integer. Determine the longest string contained within the array. Return the number of characters in that string. And you wrote this as your answer. And I'm giving you some comments here. I'm saying your method header is almost perfect. Notice that in the problem statement, it says that your method takes an array of strings. So this is what you should have had for your method header. Notice everything up to the parentheses is right. You wrote this, but it actually says it takes an array of strings. So this is what you should have wrote. Now, inside of the method, most of what you wrote is wrong. Here is some pseudocode for what you need to do inside of the method. And what I would like you to do is take the pseudocode and try and write the method yourself again, starting with this as your method header. So the array Z should be available inside the method. So what you want to do is create a variable to keep track of I should say the length, let me refix that, of the longest string. So that variable, we're going to call it, I'm going to suggest to call it max. You're going to loop through the array. Compare each element of the array to max. So in other words, we're going to say if, give me an element in the array, its length, because remember for a string, we can find how long it is by using the length method. If length is greater than max, and if that's true, then we want to set max equal to that length. Oh, I should put this on here to make sure that's right. Okay, so after you're all done with the loop, since you've stored the length of the longest string in the variable max, all you have to do is return max. So what I want you to do again is start with this method header, and then you're basically going to rewrite this part. So if you can do that for me, I'm happy and willing to update your score. I do have the question though, are you going through the EI Max stuff? That's really important. And also, are you taking your own personal notes? Because I think that does make a difference. Okay, so why don't you take a look at this, give this another try, and I should be in and out all day today on the computer, so let me know what you need help with. Thanks, bye.